What's up, y'all? I hope y'all doing well. I told y'all I'm gonna start uploading more on here. So, I'm gonna get straight to the point. Title of this video is Don't Make the Same Mistake I Made and Become a Slave to Your Bills. And that's exactly what I did. Excuse the fly. My fault, y'all. But anyways, don't make the same mistake I made and become a slave to your bills. That's the title of this video. Because I did exactly that. Now, I think it was 2 years ago. It was roughly around like two and a half years ago, right? I had a white Dodge Journey at the time, and my apartment complex experienced flooding, right? So it's only one way in and it's only one way out. So I was trying to get out, to go to work. I thought I could make it through the water because it is a mid-sized SUV. So I thought I could just take the chance to try to get through the water because I have done it before to where there's like a ton of water, but I was still able to get through it. But it's only one way in and one way out, and I didn't want to miss work that day. So as I was going out, another car came in and kind of just pushed all the water under me, and I ended up getting stuck, and I could not get out the water. I had to end up getting my car towed out, and I ended up getting it taken to the shop. And once I got it taken to the shop, it was like, the engine is gone, it has water in it, and I tried to see, if I can get any money from insurance to get it fixed or anything, because they said I needed a completely new engine, and they just chalked it up to a loss. So basically, after that, what I ended up doing, I still had a car, right? I had a car that was completely paid off. I wasn't done paying that one off. I had like a couple thousand left before I paid that car off, but just chalked it up as a loss. I didn't even get no gap pay for that. So I just finished paying that off, just out of pocket or whatever. But I did have a backup car at the time, so that was completely paid off, so I was using that. But, I still needed two vehicles. I always like to keep two vehicles. My kid's mother, she would drive one, and I need a new vehicle for me, right? The backup vehicle that I had, that my kid's mother was driving that. So I was like, I need a new vehicle for me. So what I ended up doing, I ended up going to the dealership looking for cars and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I really want to go big this time. I want to get something different. I want to get something nice. I'm tired kind of just driving these mediocre cars or whatever. I want to get something real nice. So what I ended up getting, I ended up getting a 2014 Dodge Ram with the Hemi. It had the Hemi and everything. It was it was the extended cab as well. So I ended up getting that, and I ended up financing it, right? Now, the original market value for that was $14,000, right? I am currently $17,000 underwater with that truck. Now, let me tell you how they get you. One way they get you is with these warranties, right? And like, oh, well, we can give you, whenever you go to a vehicle, it's like, oh, well, we can get you a warranty. That way, if you have any issues with your vehicle, you can just bring it back in and get it fixed and so on, right? Well, I had a lot of issues with that vehicle, right? And one thing I realized is it's a lot of things that warranty did not cover. So I paid an extra like $3,000 for that warranty, and it didn't cover that. So one of the first things that happened, right, it was like a sensor issue, right? It was an airbag sensor issue. So like a day after I took it off the lot, I was already having issues with that. So I took it back, they got that fixed, so on and so on. And then shortly after, I had like headlight issues. My headlights wasn't on, and it got to the point to where, I got pulled over for it, and it was like, hey, your headlight's not on. So I got that, I took it back to the shop. I was like, well, since I got a warranty, is this gonna be free? I was like, well, no, since it's aftermarket headlights, we don't take care of that. So beware of that, right? With these warranties, they might be like, oh, well, you can just take it back in and get it fixed. But they have a lot of rules and stipulations that they don't really tell you about. So, with some of these warranties, you want to ask them, like, all right, well, if I'm getting this warranty, do y'all deal with anything that's aftermarket, right? So, if it's aftermarket headlights, meaning the previous owner put on the headlights, or if it's aftermarket brake pads or rotors or whatever the case may be, if the previous owner put them on, you want to ask and make sure if you get that warranty, do they handle that? And you also want to ask, whenever you purchase any type of vehicle, you want to ask, did any of the owners put anything at the market on there? Because that's how they'll get you with these warranties. And the warranty don't be worth a damn. So that added on like an extra $3,000 that added on like some extra money, plus interest, plus interest from where I got the loan. And then on top of that, I had insurance at the time, right? But I didn't know this till later. They added on like an extra $4,000 because they were saying that they didn't have the insurance when I thought, I sent it to them and everything, and I had them. I also had them listed down, but they were saying that I never showed them the insurance, which I thought we did that the first day. So they added on an extra $4,000. So with that being said, let me just get to the story at hand, right? So all together, right, the monthly payment for that was like $500. It was like $536. Now that including the insurance, that was like another $500, right? So that was like, it was like $1,000 altogether, right? So my insurance was $500 because, of course, I had multiple vehicles, so I had to get them all insured. So that, the insurance, plus the car payment, that was like $1,000 altogether, right? At the time when I first got it, I couldn't manage everything, manage all my bills because I was working 2 jobs consistently at the time. Throughout time, I ended up quitting one of the jobs and then ended up just working security full time. And when I worked security full time, as long as I, had steady hours, I was good. But it would be sometimes to where I did not have a permanent post and I would end up losing hours. And then also, I started to see the effects of my income from me not working 2 jobs anymore. So I seen how far like my income went down, and it started to become more and more of a struggle just to make the payments on the car. Right, so at towards the end of last year, the beginning of this year, I was like, something has to give, right? I can't do this no more. I can't pay this extra $1,000 for this car note and this car. And by this time, I have had the car for 2 years, right? If I didn't have the car long enough, I wouldn't be able to file bankruptcy. But I am currently in the process of filing bankruptcy right now. Because of that truck, I even got the letter saying that I'm still 17, because I think the truck got sold and everything. So even after it got sold, because its value was only probably about like $6,000 to $8,000. Even after it got sold, I'm still like $17,000 underwater. So I decided, towards the beginning of the year, I decided, I'm going to file bankruptcy. And what I ended up doing is I went to a lawyer. Now some people say you can do it without a lawyer, but I went ahead and just went to a lawyer. I didn't want to go through all that. I paid him altogether probably like $1,600. At first it was only gonna be like $1,200, but I did have a small business, so I had to include that as well. And he was like, "You're just gonna pay me a straight up fee, and I'm gonna take care of everything else." And it's a few more steps I have to take just to finish everything up. But I should be completely in the clear. Everything should be cleared by Christmas time. So I'm gonna say this. I learned a valuable lesson from that. I'm not gonna do that again. Luckily, I was able to buy another. Like I did a voluntary repossession with that truck. So luckily, I was able to buy another vehicle, just straight cash, and just use that vehicle in the meantime. But from now on, as far as like when it comes to cars and stuff, even my house, I really just want to pay cash for it. I don't want to finance anything no more. I don't want to be a person just stressing about bills anymore. No, I ended up downsizing a lot of things as well this year. What I did, I paid my insurance for about like 6 months. I switched phone plans and ended up paying my phone plan for the whole year, so I just don't have to worry about that. And I just completely downsized this year, and I'm just currently in recuperation mode. I got a new job, which is good, steady income, overtime, which I love that. I'm even trying to get a second job just to boost it up a notch, and then after that, get back into getting more merchandise and stuff like that, and really pushing my business again. But in the meantime, I'm just recuperating right now. Being a slave to your bills can be very stressful. It's a lot of people that's one car note, one rent payment away just from being homeless, and you don't want to live like that. And if you haven't done it already, forget what social media say, forget what everybody else doing, forget trying to keep up with the Joneses and stuff, and trying to put on this image, forget all that. You gotta do what's best for you, especially in this type of economy. So for now on, I'm buying all my bills with just straight cash. Like, if I can't pay it straight cash, I'm not even finna get it, like, for real. And don't get me wrong, credit is good. It's good to have credit. and stuff, and you can use it to your advantage for certain things, but I'm not trying to ever be a slave to my bills again. I'm telling you, I was just so miserable. I was just stressed all the time. I was thinking, like, dang, I gotta get this paid, dang, I gotta get that paid, dang, I gotta get this paid. Like, I couldn't even sleep as good at night. You know, I was trying to put in all these extra shifts, work all these extra hours, and it just still wouldn't even add up. I still wouldn't even have enough money. So I'm just like, dang. So, yeah, that's all I had to say. Don't ever be a slave to your bills. If you can wait a little longer, if you can hold out, you ain't gotta impress nobody. I would rather have a large amount stashed up in the bank and driving maybe what some people may deem as a beat up car or a hoopty or whatever the case may be. I would rather have that than be a slave to a car note or anything like that. You know, so take it from me. I'm glad I learned this lesson early before I just really took off and just started making a whole bunch of money and just start splurging. I'm glad I learned this lesson early before I really got to that point to where I got real successful, because I'm most definitely gonna be successful, right? I'm most definitely gonna be rich, most definitely gonna be wealthy. I'm speaking it now. But I'm glad I was able to learn this valuable lesson before I even got to that point. You know, so now once I start back making more money, and once I get caught up with everything, now I know, okay, well, I'm not gonna do this again. I learned my lesson the first time. I'm gonna manage my money better. I'm gonna live below my means. The best car you can drive is a paid off car. I'm gonna say that. It's the best car you can drive. So, yeah, I learned my lesson. I'm not doing this again. Don't be a slave to your bills. I was a slave to my bills. I was a slave to my car note. I was a slave to my insurance, my rent. The utilities was coming in as well. Had a phone bill. Had other miscellaneous stuff. I had kids. So don't do that to yourself. If you haven't done that to yourself and you thinking about, oh, maybe I need to splurge on this car, don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. Or, oh, maybe I need to finance this, and you know you can't afford it, don't do it. Don't do it. Being a slave to your bills is not a good feeling. So, that's all I had to say. Told y'all I was gonna start uploading more content. I got some more coming soon, so stay tuned.